Hey, all right everybody, how's it going? Now I'm standing by here with another tale of woe. My Vauxhall Meriva B has developed a fault with the power steering. It's electric hydroelectric, sorry. So it's got fluid in it, but electric pump combined together, and it's developed a fault. And I think it is quite common on the Vauxhall Merivas. It does happen from time to time. But before we have a look at the car, can I ask, do me a favour, if you want to, it's entirely up to you. I got another channel by here, I'll put it up on the screen by here now. It's called Grouch That Barks, okay? And it's me having a bit of a moan and a grumble or whatever, or having a bit of a chat about things. And if you could do me a favour, if you subscribe to this channel and you like it, you like me talking, okay? I don't know if you do or not. Go and subscribe to this channel by here. You don't even have to look at it. Just go and subscribe and it'll help me out a lot. So if you can do that, that would be fantastic. Anyway, so let's get back to the car. Let's go and have a look at the car and see what's going on. Ooh, right, okay. Here's the car by here. Obviously, this is the back of the car, and the power steering pump isn't at the back of the car. Let me just take these leaves off here, because it looks a bit scruffy, doesn't it? It is autumn, and the leaves are sort of starting to fall down there, look. So I'm going to have leaves everywhere. I got leaves everywhere, look, there's leaves there. Look, they're everywhere. Anyway, let's talk about the car. Now, if I open the boot here, you see by here, I've got the battery off, because I was checking the battery. Now, if you got code 68 on your Vauxhall Meriva, and I think it might be the same on a Vauxhall Astra J. So this is a Meriva B, okay, there's a 24 plate. If you get code 68 on your car, code 68, which is the power steering, the first thing to check is if your battery isn't performing fantastically. Because if there's a slight dip in power on the battery, then you get code 68 coming up on the screen, up in there somewhere, right? So let's go and have a look at the car in the front. Right, okay then, here I am in the front of the car. I got the key for the car now, and if I start the car up like this now, from cold, everything should be tickety-boo. Usually it is anyway, so we'll have a quick look now, and we'll see if everything goes off. And there we go, look, I got no faults on the car at all. No power steering warning, nothing at all. Okay, that's just flashing because over there, that's because I haven't got my seatbelt on, okay? And that's on by there because it's something to do with that up there. But anyway, don't worry about them. It's not flashing up code 68. So it's an intermittent fault. And if the code 68 does come on, the steering wheel at the moment is nice and light, isn't it? But let me tell you something. When the code 68 comes on, this steering becomes really heavy. Once you start driving, it's okay. Once the car's moving, you can turn it, it's still heavy. But when a car is stationary, it's really heavy to turn. So at the moment, no code 68. So let's go and have a look under the bonnet. Right, okay then, here I am at the front of the car with the bonnet up. I'll grab the camera now and we'll have a quick peek in there and we'll have a look where the power steering pump is. It's buried down over there on that side of the engine, just down below the battery. But I'll grab the camera. I got a torch or a light. We'll try and shine it down. I'll have a look and see what it is. Ooh, it's probably not very nice. It's probably tucked away. But we'll have a look anyway. Let's grab the camera. Right, okay, looking at the front of the engine here. This is a right-hand drive UK model. Just behind the battery down there. You probably might not be able to see. You might be able to see the top of it. But just down by there is the top of the power steering pump. Let me put this light on. I'll put the light on and we might be able to see a little bit better then. So if I try and shine that light down there, I'm pointing down that way there. Just down by there, you might be able to see like a little black top. And if I go a little bit closer there, buried down by there, right down by there, look. Down by there, when I'm wiggling my finger. That's the top where you fill up the power steering pump. And then underneath that there is the sort of not mechanical, the electronic pump, which is all one unit. I'll put a picture of what it looks like by here somewhere. Over by there, I'll put a picture there so you can see what it looks like. And it's tucked down in there. I don't know if you can see down in there anyway. It's difficult to see really, but obviously it's covered in dirt because it's in the engine bay. But it looks to me like you've got take the power steering pump out from underneath the car. So it's got 3 mounting points that I think it's got anyway. It's got 3 mounting points on that power steering pump. It'll have electrical connector, and it'll also have a high and a low pressure hose. And obviously all that's probably down there, down under the bottom there. You should be able to get to the bolts and take it out. And it more than likely goes out down the bottom. I should expect anyway, because it seems to be tucked away but they're out of the way. So that is the problem there, okay? Now, I tried putting a new battery on, because if you look at all the forums, it says, let me turn this light off. It says to try put in, the battery is usually the culprit. But in this circumstance, battery didn't work. Well, I thought it did. I started the car up and drove off. I drove home and everything was tickety-boo. But when I stopped the car and started it back up, the code 68 came back on. And the pattern is this. Well, let me explain. Let me put the camera over there and let me explain. Right, okay. What I think is the problem, what I'm thinking in my head, my diagnosis, is I tried the battery, which is the first thing to try. Make sure you got a good solid battery. That's the first thing you should try, because any sort of variation in the 12 volts will set off the code 68. So that's the first thing to try. But in my case, it's not the case. So what happens is, I'll jump in the car, okay? I'll jump in the car, no code 68. I'll go for a drive, okay? Say 10 to 15 minutes. I'll stop the car, and when I start the car again, code 68 comes up. Oh, doesn't matter how many times you start the car, the code 68 will come up, okay? So you walk away from the car, leave the car cool down for 20 minutes, come back when the car's cooled down, start the car, everything's tickety-boo again. You drive off, drive for 20 minutes, stop again, start the car, code 68. So what's happening is when the pump is getting warm, and you turn it, the fault doesn't show until you turn the car off and back on again. The pump is getting warm. When it's getting warm, and then you stop the car and turn it on, the car is sensing there's some sort of fault there. I don't know if it's a resistance fault. I'm not quite sure what it is. But when the pump gets warm, that's when the fault is showing. Now, if that's happening, it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse, okay? So eventually, the code will be on all the time. So if you're having code 68 and you've tried the battery, and it isn't the battery, and you're getting sort of intermittent faults, it's probably more than likely only going to get worse. It's not going to get better, obviously. Well, it might do if you're lucky, but it's only going to get worse. So I've had the code 68 come up about 6 or 7 times. So what I'll do now is I'll stick a diagnostic machine on, but I don't think that's going to show anything because it's intermittent. But we'll give it a bash anyway. But I think I know what the fault is anyway. I need a new pump, basically. Now, I'm getting a bit old, and I used to go under cars, easy peasy. I used to fix all the stuff on my cars all the time. But I'm getting a bit old. I got a bit of arthritis, you know. So going under the car for me is a no-no. I can't do it anymore. I got back issues. I got joint issues. So, and I'm getting old. And it's getting cold. I'm getting old and it's getting cold, right? So me going under the car is a no-no. So I'd have to get somebody else to do it. Now, if I was fit as a flea, what I'd do is climb under the car, I'd take the power steering pump off, and I think there are places you can get them refurbished. I'd send it off, bring it back, stick it on myself. I hit my hand on there then. Didn't hurt, so don't worry. I'd take it off, send it off, get it fixed, put it back on. Everything's tickety-boo. It wouldn't cost much money, would it? But I'm going to put up on the screen now. If you wanted to buy a brand new one, right? Just have a guess now. Before I put it up on the screen, have a guess in your head how much a brand new one is. Have a quick guess. Ready? That's how much it costs for a brand new one. That's the cheapest I can find there. You might be able to find one cheaper if you dig and dig, but that's the cheapest I can find there. And I was like, what? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy price. Now, there is another option. You could buy a second-hand one. You could buy a second-hand one, climb under there, put it on yourself, or get somebody else to do it. Second-hand ones are around about £200. As a rule, I don't like to put second-hand stuff on cars because then 2 years down the line, you might be having the same situation again. So I like to put new on so it lasts a long time. But if you want to save some money, you can put a second-hand one on. Anyway, I'm waffling. Let's go and get the diagnostic and have a quick look. Hoo-hoo! Right, okay, I don't know how well you can see this, but the diagnostic port is down there. It's under the gear stick, under the brakes, handbrake switch. It's down under there. You've got to take a panel off, and that's where the diagnostic port is on a Meriva B. Anyway, so this diagnostic iCarSoft one is specifically for Vauxhalls, and I've got it on Meriva B there. I don't know how well you can see that, but if I press enter there, it'll ask me the year of the car. I go 2014. It'll ask me the engine. I haven't got stop start, so let's get past the stop starts. Why is it all stop start system on it? I haven't got a stop start engine. Oh yeah, without stop start, sorry. Let's try that one there then. Let's try that. Let's do a smart scan and see what comes up. Nothing might come up at all, see, that's the thing. So let's have a look. What we got here? We got engine control module, electric brake control, SRS, IC instrument cluster, heating, body control module, parking brake, parking assist, multimedia, power steering control module. There we go. PSCM. I don't know if you can hear in the distance. There's a scrap iron man making a racket, but we'll carry on. So let's try power steering control module. Let's click that there. Let's read fault code and see if it said anything. See what it says? So it says there, look, no fault code found. So even though I'm getting up on there and getting code 68 on the dashboard, on here nothing is happening. Let's go back. Module information, see if it actually communicates with it. So there we are, let's communicate with it. It's got a part number, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it all means. But for some reason, it won't give me any information. Let's try and turn the car on and see if it says anything then. Let's start the car up. Right, okay. The system is running, it says on there. And that's all it's giving me. I don't know if I can... So it doesn't give me any information at all, really, does it? Nothing. So if I go back, read fault code. So that is the problem with the power steering pump. It's hard to find any fault with it. It's only when it comes up on there and the power steering stops working. So it's a difficult situation, isn't it? Hey, all right then, so there you go. I'm in a bit of a pickle, ain't I? Because the power steering is intermittent, and when it goes, it is quite hard to steer. And if I was parked in between two parked cars, I wouldn't be able to get out. I wouldn't be able to manoeuvre because I'd be like, ooh, ee, ooh. And it's really hard to turn the steering wheel, unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously. And I mean, I don't mean Arnold Schwarzenegger when he's 76. I mean Arnold Schwarzenegger when he was a young man. So, like, once you start moving, the car starts moving. You can turn the steering wheel. You can go. But when you stop, say you want to do a 3-point turn or something, and you stop, is really difficult then. But once you start moving, you can go. It's heavy, but you're not stuck. If it goes, you're not stuck. You can get back to where you want to get back to. So there we are. My diagnosis of the situation is that if you can't find anything on the scanner, but it's coming up on there all the time, and you've put a new battery on, I think that the only other obvious explanation is that the pump needs replacing. Unless the connector itself could do with a clean. It might be corrosion in the connector. That might be another option. But you're going to have to get under the car to fix that. So my option is, what do? I was just about to sell the car. I was in the process of thinking about selling the car. So I might just sell the car as it is, unless somebody else fix it. Somebody you know, who can get under the car. If you can fix it yourself, or you know somebody who can fix it, it's not too bad of a job. I mean, it's not the end of the world, is it? But the new one is pricey. So if it happens to you, I hope this helps anybody out with code 68. Because when you first see code 68 come on the dashboard, you're like, oh my God. But anyway, I hope that helps you out. I think that's the sort of, the only logical explanation is that you probably, if you haven't tried the battery or the connector, you need a new pump. So there we are. So like I said earlier on, if you've watched my videos before, go and have a look at this other channel I got, where I have a bit of a ramble about nothing in particular. Well, there's a lot of it's about electric cars and stuff. So have a look at that if you want to. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hoo-hoo-hoy!